Risers and fallers. Westbrook turns back the clock. Wemby in mini funk. We are 3 weeks into the new NBA season and injuries are starting to take over, but there are also plenty of healthy players who are having pleasantly surprising seasons thus far. Risers and fallers breaks down a few players on each side of the spectrum and can help fantasy managers when considering trade options or player moves in their leagues. Russell Westbrook, PG, Sacramento Kings, 72% rostered in ESPN leagues. Westbrook has suddenly become a focal point for the Kings, and he went off for a huge triple-double, his 204th, on Wednesday with 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists in a win over the Warriors. He became the all-time rebounds leader for guards in the process, passing Jason Kidd. He also had 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 dimes in his previous game, and has benefited from the absences of Zach LaVine, back, and Domantas Sabonis, ribs. He might take a slight hit once the Kings are fully healthy again, but it looks like Westbrook will get heavy minutes in Sacramento for the foreseeable future. Walker Kessler is out for the season with a shoulder injury that will require surgery. Nurkic will take over starting center duties and had 6 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a block on Wednesday against the Pistons. He also double-doubled with 11 points, 11 boards, 4 assists, and a block in his previous game, and should only get better in the near term. The assists have been nice, and while they should start trending down, he'll be a solid source of points, rebounds, and blocks going forward. Power forward Kyle Filipowski, 7% rostered, will also see a boost in Kessler's absence and could end up being a silly season hero later in the season. Quentin Grimes, SG, Philadelphia 76ers, 50%. Grimes has scored at least 22 points in 4 of his last 7 games and hit 9 of 15 shots on his way to 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a 3-pointer on Wednesday versus Cleveland. He had 4 steals and a block in his previous game and hit 4 triples with 22 points and a career-high 13 assists last Sunday against the Nets. He's averaging 18.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.5 blocks, and 2.5 three-pointers on the season, and is a player that can help fantasy managers in nearly every category. He'll likely take a hit once Paul George finally plays, but no one really knows when that might happen. Ajay Mitchell, PG, Oklahoma City Thunder, 37%. Mitchell started Wednesday in Portland and contributed 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in 31 minutes. He's not likely to start consistently, but he gets decent minutes off the bench and is having a nice season. He's getting nearly 27 minutes per game and has averaged 16.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.1 three-pointers through 8 games on the season. He's not a must-roster player, but his numbers have been solid, and he won't hurt fantasy teams anywhere. If he's available in your league and you need guard help, he warrants a pickup in most instances. Jamie Jaquez Jr., SG/SF, Miami Heat, 59%. Jaquez hit 9 of 14 shots and a 3-pointer for 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in 26 minutes at Denver on Wednesday, and has been an integral piece for the Heat through their first 8 games. He has scored 21, 28, and 31 points in 3 of those 8 games, and has been a solid source of points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's likely to take a bit of a hit once Tyler Herro is healthy, but unlike last season, Eric Spoelstra appears ready to lean on Jaquez this season. Kel'el Ware, C. Heat, 40%. Bam Adebayo suffered a left foot injury Wednesday and played just 8 minutes. Ware has been wildly inconsistent this season, but it's not really his fault. Prior to Wednesday's game, when he played 27 minutes and racked up 13 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, a block, and 2 three-pointers, he saw just 18 and 12 minutes in his previous 2. Despite the inconsistent minutes, he's averaged 10.1 points, 7.4 rebounds, 0.9 blocks, and 1.3 three-pointers in just 20 minutes per game. He's young and has a stat set built for fantasy if Spoelstra will give him 25 minutes a night. And if Adebayo is going to miss time, Ware could really take off. Terrence Mann, SG/SF, Brooklyn Nets, 10%. Mann has quietly been a valuable fantasy asset of late, despite his low rostership in ESPN leagues. He had 15 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a three-pointer on Wednesday against the Pacers, and has scored in double digits in 4 of his past 5 games, playing at least 30 minutes in 3 of his past 4. Cam Thomas suffered a hamstring injury on Wednesday, so man should continue to get solid run for the foreseeable future. He's averaging a career-high 11.9 points this season to go along with 3.6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.1 three-pointers in 28 minutes a game. The Nets are a mess, but man looks like he's locked into the starting lineup in Brooklyn. And if Thomas misses time, man could take another step forward. Victor Wembanyama, San Antonio Spurs, 100% rostered. Wembanyama has struggled over his past 2 games, hitting just 9 of 28 shots and averaging 14.0 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.0 steals, 2.5 blocks, and 0.5 three-pointers. That's as bad as it can get for Wemby. Despite the aforementioned bad games, he's still averaging 25.6 points, 12.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 4.1 blocks, and 0.9 three-pointers through his first 7 games. He should bounce back against the Rockets on Friday, and if you have been thinking about trying to trade for Wembanyama, now is the time to do it. His fantasy value won't be lower than it is right now, and as long as he stays healthy, he can single-handedly win you a fantasy championship. Desmond Bane, SG/SF, Orlando Magic, 90%. Bane has been a bit of a disaster for his new team, and he's been getting worse as the season progresses. He has failed to score in double figures in 3 straight games and has scored a grand total of just 23 points in them for an average of 7.7 points. He's scoring just 13.9 ppg thus far and is shooting a career-low 41.4%, frustrating his fantasy managers along the way. He's still trying to figure out his role playing alongside Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, but I believe they will eventually figure it out. Now is a great time to try to acquire Bane, as his fantasy value likely won't be lower than it is right now. And the chances of him curing his shooting woes and posting big numbers going forward are high. CJ McCollum, PG/SG, Washington Wizards, 64%. The Wizards have been blown out in 4 straight games, and McCollum has played 22 or fewer minutes in 3 straight, scoring a total of 8 points in his latest 2 outings thanks to hitting just 3 of his last 19 shots. He has played well in only 1 game this season. He had 24 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, and 4 three-pointers against Charlotte on October 26, and I'm starting to worry about his role in Washington for the rest of the season. Hopefully, the low minutes of late were due to the blowout factor, but it's possible the Wizards, who are 1-7 on the season, could turn to a youth movement in what looks to be another lost season. Chances are McCollum will bounce back and get it turned around, but I think fantasy managers might sleep better at night if McCollum is playing for someone else's team. Zion Williamson, PF, New Orleans Pelicans, 97%.